you think about it, all land is in the middle of the ocean.
True. However, I'm talking about
get anywhere.
I mean, I'm talking about the actual water. Goats can't live in the water. They're gonna get eaten by sharks or something, or whatever lives in the Bermuda, like the depths of the Bermuda Triangle. I don't know. It's definitely Bermuda goats, that is for sure.
Well, we need a Cthulhu comp to try and deal with the goats, that much is for certain. Hypnot's going to be moving forward for shield as usual. There's going to be a lot of pressure onto that. You can see Tanner trying to control the high ground. He can drop off at any moment, try and give that stun onto Hypnot, but he could be very vulnerable while doing so.
See Shu there, just waiting for that whip shot to actually come out from Tanner so he doesn't get knocked off, and dodging that one too. Is going to continue to hold the high ground. Guru a little bit too far forwards though, is going to get taken out by Gig. Same with Ultimate Wet. Nice little defense to start Chicken Contendies off the map. And yeah, B Team's going to get taken down as well. Problem is in this situation too, and a small caveat of actually losing a fight, you actually give up so much extra ult charge to the attackers, or to the team that did win the fight, sorry, just because you are literally chasing them to their spawn, and there's no situation where you're really gaining more ult charge because you're trying to run away.
To pick up on what you said about Shu being able to dodge that whip shot, there's actually really cool techniques from Divas where you can double your movement speed, or at least have normal movement speed by stopping your fire, so you can effectively dodge things by changing your movement speed by toggling your fire on and off.
Ah. Cool tips for leg day. Hypnot's going to go down. OJ is also going to fall. Peace Demon's going to die. That'll be Bermuda with a nice swift reset. Best thing about 3-3 though is how fast you can actually reset. If your team is very well coordinated, not in queue for example, but like if you're a team like in Trials, Open Division or whatever, you can afford to just very quickly reset with that Lucio speed out.
Yeah, for some reason my my Q's eye has never really understand the term disengage. Hypnot is going to be understanding the engage right now though. They're trying to track Tanner, they know he's up top. Shu has seen the whip shot, so he may not decide to try and control that high ground. OG for now is going to be the one who controls the hut. Will be another missed whip shot from Tanner.
Oof. Missed whip shot from Tanner does end his own life as well. Transcendence on top of the Graviton Surge. Salty does not have self-destruct. He's only 10% away and extremely low. Gig used that shatter straight into the shield of Guru this time. He does absorb a lot of that damage, that incoming as well. There is a beat from Chicken Contendies and about a Bermuda way, which is just back off while that did fade away. That shatter just goes complete, not wide, goes completely on the rest of the Chicken Contendies. 3 people were caught. There was no way they were going to escape that, not without a Rhine shield. Losing my words like Bermuda are just Chicken Contendies are losing their lives. Even messed that one up.
Beautiful. Okay, take a breath. For some reason, it's whenever first point gets taken on Volsky.
That's what I was thinking. Because my camera was in the same position. I'm like, I've been in this situation before where like the fight has just gone one way. And
do you ever get that feeling of deja vu? Hopefully, Contendies won't if Bermuda can take as quickly as we saw Underwater Squad do. We'll have to see where the position for Gig will be on the defense. Hypnot's going to be able to claim a lot of space here. Can use the physical cover of that box, but he is going to meet Gig out in the center now.
That's a beat from Bermuda. They got the grab, they got the combo available. That grab gets thrown straight into Salty's mech. Gig is going to go down there, and that's a beautiful shatter coming through from Hypnot. That self-destruct launched the back line as well. Salty just managed to get his self-destruct off in time as he gets the D-mech, but gets taken out by Shu's self-destruct as well, though.
Guru going to be throwing in a lot of high energy mortars here towards Suppose. In comes the charge. Going to manage to catch out Shu's. Going to have to eat the Graviton as Harblue comes back in. It's going to be a last ditch attempt.
Oh, that hammer down does actually land in the Mega Health Pack room. Does catch 2 people. Couldn't get the Mega Health Pack himself. Harblue with the zoning grab is going to push everybody off the point, but the rest of Bermuda are just going to corral on him and Tanner. They are still capping, however. They have acquired a tick as they do chase Harblue to his doom and kill off Salty's mech as well.
Zoning grabs a super powerful man. Gig is launching himself into the back, but he's also launching himself into the arms of Guru.
Okay, there's another grab. Not a zoning one this time as the Lucio, the Zen, and the Brig were caught on up. Harblue on the Wrecking Ball. Can't quite miss anything on this one though, unless you're really aiming wildly with those flat cannons. Salty's back onto the point also, but Harblue's quickly taken care of. Another hammer does hit the floor. This time Hypnots does, and so does Tanner as he ends up going down as well. Just the last couple of members need to be cleared up by Bermuda, and they can finally cap last.
Gig makes the same re-entry charge all the time, and he got Shu again. Harblue's back, but I'm pretty sure this one's going to be over, Jaws.
Yeah, there you go. A self-destruct. As a victory, ultimates, and Contendies will end up forfeiting the round 1. 2 complete captures for Bermuda, and they got a little bit of time left in their bank as well. 3 minutes and 30 seconds, not too bad whatsoever.
Yeah, not too bad at all. I was hoping that we'd see a little bit more efficacy out of Harblu's grab there. Not gonna lie, maybe it would have been a boon for them to have.
I actually landed it. I actually connected it with some people. It's just unlucky. Sometimes you fired it out, and if there's a Lucio speed running, and someone's speeding the Lucio away, if you don't connect it, because you can connect it with a body. That's the thing as well. So you can connect it to somebody. Obviously, it connects with them, and it can drag people in who are rather close. So that's potentially what he was aiming for. But Lucio speed boost, just moving everybody out of the way rather quickly.
Yeah, being able to disengage is super important here. And what's also really great is that we saw Shu. I don't know if he was baiting those charges from Gig, because Gig hit that charge like 3 times in a row. It was quite interesting that Gig keeps making this charge from spawn, catches out Shu, and then the entire team sort of rounds upon him. But if you keep making the successful charge, like, I guess there's no sort of like learning curve where you're like, oh, this is a bad idea. So you're like, oh, I'm gonna go for this. It'll give me a lot of charge towards my Earth Shadow. I actually saw Gig try to clutch it out as well when he got that double shadow onto Shu and Guru in the Mega Hack room. But I'm pretty sure that Gig is now going to have to sort of like shape things up. I'm not really sure what happened in that last fight, Jaws. I'm not going to lie, it was a bit of a mess.
It was a bit of a mess. It's okay. It's okay. Let's not worry, Harry. Let's just get on to this next round. It will be Contendies attacking, of course. Taking the high ground though this time. Taking a bit of a different angle than Bermuda did, who did use that low ground. But now they can put their supports up there, which is going to be pretty important, and they can control that mega health pack, of course. Everybody sees a nice bit of health there from the Brig. Gig going in very man mode on Ultimate Web, who ends up going down. Hypnot's going to follow as well. Shu does end up killing off the Lucio, but man advantage for Chicken Contendies. They are going to put themselves on the point, and Bermuda are going to have to make their final stand now on second.
This is the aggression that I wanted to see coming out from Gig, being able to very much isolate Bermuda and make sure he just sowed discord in more ways than just with the orb by running into him. It's just like, he's going to stop swinging, right?
Please stop swinging.
He's not stopped swinging, and Hypnot just going to have to retreat here. Went out for a little bit of a charge. He's a free range tank. He's a free range main tank right here. Well raised. I'd pay a lot for that.
He's been hitting some good shatters, to be fair to him. Gig is going to have to hit this next one pretty big. His ultimate's coming online very soon. Harblu has the grab. Let's not make it a zoning grab this time, or gets it Eden. Nope, there you go. Straight on top of Hypnot. That's the person you want to see. Nice stun on Ultimate Web, but already Hypnot went down. Tanner trades his like for like in Ultimate Web 2. And that'll be a Transcendence from Suppose to keep everybody alive on the fight, on the point as 6 members.
And here we go, 6 minutes and 24 still in the bank. Guru's going to try and come out with a little bit of energy, but can anyone even touch? It will be Shu.
Oh, nice shadow as soon as Hitmonk actually went through the door. Shu is actually off to the sidelines that whole time. It is going to get demeked eventually, and that self-destruct being used as well. PC Demon forced to use the Transcendence to get back onto the point alive. Invulnerable is the Zenyatta, and that's not quite so much anymore, but the beam from OG will just make him survive just a fraction of a second longer. A Graviton Surge gets thrown in by Guru, but gets gobbled straight up by Salty once more. Harblu takes out OG, and a couple of more percent, and they're going to be able to get the cap. Greater time bank in favor of Chicken Contendies. I don't know what it is with Voskai defenses today, Harry, but they are ending so rapidly.
An interesting boot for onto Gig as he charged, actually doomed the Brigida. He like got redirected midway through, and then he managed to catch out a Brigida, so you can feel pretty smug about that. But Bermuda now, well, it doesn't look like they've lost much time, but still it's a 2-minute and 12-second time deficit compared to Chicken Contendies. And we've got to remember, this is Chicken Contendies, both server and map, so they've got the advantages they want in their favor. Doesn't look like there's like specific strategies, because we are seeing a lot of 3-3, so they're just playing what they know, but positioning it in a way that they find most effective. And the way that they took that first point attack definitely caught Bermuda off guard. So Bermuda, they're going to have to be ready on their second defense, that same approach that Chicken Contendies just made. But let's not forget, Bermuda, when they attacked, it was reasonably successful, I think.
Oh, they did complete caps, so yeah.
Yeah, like on their first point attack, I'm just trying to remember to what degree. Like, Tana was a bit of a nightmare on the top. We saw 2 full wipes from Bermuda before they could take first point. because they were just so worried about Tanner and his whip shots on the top. They finally knocked him off after Tanner missed a whip shot. And then Tanner, because he didn't have that, couldn't kill for himself. So now what I want to make sure here, if I'm looking for Chicken Contendies to win, Tanner needs to be a lot more reserved after he's used that whip shot.
Shu was that person to kind of push him off as well on the D.Va. Did dodge out the way, of course, of the whip shot to push him to the ground. Very fast engagement, of course. It is 3-3, Harry. Got a couple of Lucios on board. There you go. Shu instantly actually pushing Tanner off. Yeah, felt a little bit too vulnerable up on the high ground. Gig is moving forward as well. Harblu, if he just gets a couple of right clicks around this corner, because everybody has to actually bundle up. Speaking of bundling up, Zolik almost falls, but perfect shield rotation there from Gig to actually block all of that incoming damage. Does sacrifice his shield HP for it, however.
Oh, Hypnot thought he could get a little bit frisky with Geek having no shield, but he was caught out by Salty, and this needs to be a full disengage from Bermuda before they feed over more ultimate charge. And you were definitely right that Geek had a really good shield rotation there to save his team, but the cost of it was that he didn't have any shield left, but I guess it was kind of a bait as well. He made it look a lot like his shield was broken, and that baited in a lot of aggression from Hypnot. So, Harblu, okay, you can keep being aggressive for now. Yep, we haven't been punished for Gig shield rotations.
Well, Harblu has got himself a grab, Harry. Guru's a little bit away off, only 75%, of course. Yeah, Zolik's like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm not going in that aggressive again. Graviton Surge, not going to get eaten this time around. Salty is going to match all that damage. Same with Gig, it was just swinging into the grab. Hypnot and Guru end up going down. So that rally was coming through as well from Tanner. So as soon as one member's dead, 3-3 is pretty much dead in the water. But with that rally on as well, there's no way you're chunking through that all the armor that's being generated.
We're about halfway through a time back now, Jaws, and Bermuda haven't made a single tick of progress just yet, but they have got themselves quite a few ultimates ready to go. Almost 6 are prepared, and of course Harblu is going to be able to build up towards yet another Graviton Surge, but that won't be available for a while. Supposing Zolik here, they need to make sure they rotate their ultimates effectively to survive this incoming onslaught.
Oh my goodness, Tanner almost slipped off the roof there into the waiting clutches of Bermuda. Nice shatter, but an instant sound barrier is going to help them survive for the time. A Transcendence will match the Graviton Surge thrown out by Bermuda. Still, that Overshield is decaying on the side of Bermuda as well. Both self-destructs launched at exactly the same time and train each other. Shu and Salty end up going down to each other, so that will be a 1-for-1. A Transcendence from Pizza Demon. Healing advantage now from Bermuda as they move themselves onto the point. Tanner gets whip-shotted out of existence, and Gig and Harblu are going to have to back off. A very desperation Graviton Surge, hoping there could be damage to actually follow it up, but Gig not willing to use the Earth Shatter, isn't going to find anything more. 50 seconds remain in the time bank carry as they are going to cap this next point, this first point, and an additional 30 seconds as they move their way to third.
An incredibly expensive fight for Bermuda. They did use all 6 of their ultimates. Maybe 5. I think Hypnot may have actually got another Shadow over the course of that fight. But now it's going to be Shadow versus Shadow. The only ultimates readily available right now. Suppose is so much closer to the Transcendence. If he can use that to answer a good Shadow from Hypnot, that may be all that's required. Especially if he can body block the charge, which delivers a burst damage, can kill people through the Transcendence. Gig's doing good shield rotations here.
There's the Shadow, Harry. 3 people are going to go down. You can see instant defense matrix from Salty as well. Absorbing all of that right-click fire from the Xayah. It's very important for the D.Va to actually do that in order to stop a building up grab as quickly. Nice charge, actually. It's going to almost kill Ultimate Warp. There you go. Finally gets a Transcendence. Will end up saving most of them for the time being, apart from Tanner, who gets slammed and turned into jam. Gig so close to another Shatter, just has to stay alive. He's got the backup needed, and now with the sound barrier as well, it should just be clean up duty for Chicken Contendies. That will be Pizza Demon. Last on the point, ends up going down. 10 seconds now remain. There's only one person that can touch. It's the Lucio, and he's on his way.
It's got to be a mad dash to trigger overtime. Jaws Hypnos eating a couple of mortars on his way. Can't afford that 50% reduction of momentum that occurs when you have the shield up.
Shu is here, but the self-destruct is perfectly timed from Salty there to demech him instantly. A self-destruct from Sue as well is not going to be able to get the remech either. Goes wide. Harblu claiming another couple of kills. Not a single tick has been acquired by Bermuda as they do get wiped. Chicken Contendies are going to be able to hold on to second point.
Gig there with a high value Earth Shatter, catching out both Moira and Guru on the Wrecking Ball, using the widest part of the angle to make sure that worked, so we can be very happy with that particular one. I'm pretty sure that Bermuda, they will be okay with having capped 1 point, but Chicken Contendies here, given their time bank, this does look like a very convincing potential win for them.
5 minutes and 42 seconds. That's like a monstrous time bank. And like you said, only the first point and only 33%. So it's very much in their favor. Chicken Contendies could put this to their map point also. Now, Bermuda have to go on the defense. Like, I don't want to even talk about if there could be some strange options for them. It doesn't like any team is willing to change off the 3-3. And something that you mentioned at the end of the fight as well, or the start of the last fight, in fact, Harry, was that Transcendence from Suppose. That could have come on the line very quickly. It was only 15% away from it, and he could have used that to counteract a lot of the damage that came through from the Shatter from Hypnot. We do normally see, and the meta is, especially over in EU, is you beat the Shatter and then you transgrab. That's normally how it goes down, as the Shatter will last a heck of a lot. The Graviton Surge will last a heck of a lot longer than a Shatter will. Plus, the Graviton Surge is so much easier to focus fire on top of that Grav as well. So 300 HPS is really required for you to survive it.
Looking at that positioning here, though, from Bermuda, they actually have a split. They have Pizza Demon off on his own on the left-hand side, so he can lay down this damage from afar. Well, they're going to get incredibly... This is outside of Pizza Demon's effective range.
Oh, my goodness. What an engagement, just bisecting Bermuda. As Tanner gets isolated on the side, he ends up going down. Hypnot finding 3 kills already. Look at that ultimate charge from him as well. 67% on his Earth Shatter. That from one fight as well.
Aggression there, definitely their ally. I thought they might have been away from Pizza Demon way too far, but doesn't look like Pizza Demon is now going to try and join them. Go on, make the jump. Oh, so close yet so far. OG, you got to give him that boost, my dude. He is actually going to hang out now with the Mega Pack. Hypnot is so ready. Look at him, it's just in here. He's going to get a big fire strike, and now we can almost
95%. Yeah, there you go. He's got it already. He has that Earth Shadow. He's going to have to move forward. If they want to use it fairly early here, it wouldn't be such a bad option because Guru is so close to a Graviton Surge, but it just gets absorbed into Gig's shield. Might just be enough, though, as they were out to play rather defensively. Counter charge from Hypnot to send Gig to the floor. Tanner is going to fall as well, and there you go. Guru now only 25% away. They've got a minute of Chicken Contendies time banked, but Chicken Contendies haven't used a single ult yet.
Yeah, they haven't. It's been a play the long game here for Chicken Contendies. They're slow roasting, shall we say. They are about equal on their sport ultimates in terms of percentage, of course, 88, 89%. And they haven't really been able to get anything yet because Bermuda have been striking so fast and so effectively, but that also means that Chicken Contendies aren't losing a huge amount of time on these fights compared to long drawn out ones.
He gets isolated. Actually, felt like it was under so much pressure that I suppose was actually forced to use that ultimate. Transcendence already been used. Pizza Demon ends up hitting the floor. There will be a beat to try and stop all that damage coming through on top of that Graviton Surge, but that self-destruct is more than enough damage that he needed. Another grab gets thrown out, this time on the side of Chicken Contendies as 4 members is caught up. Gig is going to take out Hypnot, and a successful push this time around from Chicken Contendies. 4 people on the point. They've only lost 2, and they'll come back fairly shortly. They're going to get an additional 30 seconds, Harry. They're going to have around 4 minutes to get 33% on second.
A single tick will place them on to match point as we head to escort, but we've seen longer holds from this on this point of Boss guys. It's only hoping for a draw now from Bermuda. Their tools to make it happen. They have basically nothing except for sound barrier. OG needs to get incredibly aggressive here, needs to make sure that they can just dogpile onto Gig or onto Suppose, get an early pick.
Well, once more, the Lucio going fairly aggressive. There's the Shadow. Self-destruct comes in as well. That beat's going to come through. Oh my goodness. Hypno's shield wasn't enough to protect himself nor Guru. Ultimate Weapon is going to fall down as well. Salty, big brains Diva comes up big once again. Self-destructs, eats grabs. What more do you want from a Diva player? Chicken Contendies end up taking Voskyra and put themselves on match points.
And Tanner actually had a super smart rotation there to enable that self-destruct. He got all the way around behind the enemy Reinhardt, gave him the old shield bash, just like old times, George, just like old times. Nothing to defend him or those who were behind his shield who were counting on that for protection. The instant double kill, and it was all over from there.
My favorite thing is watching Ryan play the games when they don't have Shadow and they're swinging into grab. He is ult charge just from 0 to 100 real quick.
And we keep talking about cyclical ult generation, and that's exactly what we mean right there. You can generate ults so fast with 3-3 by using ults, especially because any team wipe, because of the amount of health and the amount of healing that is available to a 3-3 composition, you just do so much damage, and damage equals ult charge.
Yeah, Bermuda now have their map choice. It does look like we are going to Route 66, so a bit different from what we've seen over the last couple of days. Route 66 does favor the 3-3 comp, but it does also favor compositions like Fire and Mercy, like Ashe. You can hold the high ground fairly easily as well. So we'll have to wait and see where both teams will actually want to run out the gate with. Route 66 will be the next map. We're going to jump to a quick break though, however, guys. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, welcome back. This is Chicken Contendies versus Bermuda in NA Trials. We are potentially one map away from Chicken Contendies taking this entire series. However, Bermuda, if they do manage to take Route 66, which was of course their map choice, they will be able to keep themselves in the series, and we will see another map 5 today.
Gonna quickly have our West Coast player invited back to Bermuda. Oh, Ultimate Web has joined the game. Beautiful. We have forced East Coast servers as loser picked server, and Bermuda have decided to go with East. We are going to unpause here. Bermuda, well, this is the map, Jaws, where we saw the genesis a quadruple DPS, but I feel silly talking about any even notion of DPS. Because all we've seen so far is straight 3-3s, maybe with a Winston sometimes.
It's crunch time, Harry. That's what it is. They won't play DPS when they can just play 3-3, mate.
I guess that's what they've been screaming for so long. Like,
yeah.
it's very hard to convince people that it's a good idea to swap off the 3-3 when you spend so long scrimming on it. Even if, like, the patch changes so that the comp may not be the most ideal anymore. Like, of course, there have been changes to D.Va, which have made her defense matrix less effective by having a 2-second internal cooldown, but apparently Salty and Shu didn't get the memo because they're eating grabs left and right.
I mean, that's the thing. Everybody's like, oh, you know, 3-3's gonna die super fast. And it's like, well, not really. Like, it will eventually get taken over by something else, but currently it's still going to be one of the most powerful comps because people know how to play it so well. I'd rather have a team, if I was on a team or like manager or coach, whatever, if I was on a team that has been screwing and playing this one comp for so long, and then things get nerfed in it, but you still have so much experience in it, you're still going to want something that you've been running for so long because you've had so much practice against a variety of things, whether that's 3-3 or other DPS comps, than something that you haven't been practicing for so long.
Exactly that. It's going to be a quick rotation from Bermuda, trying to make sure that Chicken Contendies are pushed up against their spawn.
That is a poop and a half.
Knockoffs, but not going to be getting them. And look now, Pizza Demon will be in a supremely safe position if he stays up here.
Yeah. No drop.
Never mind.
Never mind. They did switch sides. Chicken Contendies are obviously on the defense, but Bermuda are going to take the high ground for the time being. The slight high ground, of course. It's only a small slope. Salty, though, doing a good job of annoying Pizza Demon in the back line. If he isn't receiving a healing fast, he's going to go down rather quickly. Discord on Salty, though, does make sure he is punished for his over-aggression. Same with Gig, who actually goes down first up, as OG does take him out of the server. Now the Hypnot as well going down, but Bermuda are going to be able to rotate back onto this cart now. Salty is the only one there left, and they can finally get it moved.
Will eventually be killed. They can't afford to stagger him because, of course, he can stall the progress of the cart, and still a minute taken there by Chicken Contendies, despite the fight not going their way. But it was such an even fight, Jules. So they're basically even on ult charge across every player. Basically has an ultimate. The next fight is going to be an absolute mess. There's potential for 12 ultimates to come out, and I think Bermuda are going to want to hold on very tightly to the momentum that they currently hold, and Chicken Contendies will be just as desperate to stabilize.
Well, there's the grab. That Transcendence can't reach them. Pizza Demon, you're underneath them. It doesn't matter, though, because Gig wasn't able to get the damage actually out. There's going to be an Earth Shatter from Hypnot and from Gig. It only stuns Guru, but that was actually enough to get him taken out by the self-destruct. Gig is going to get slammed into the wall by Hypnot, as well as Hypnot going down to the Lucio. They are trading fairly evenly, but right now Bermuda, it is all in their favor, as they do have spawn advantage, plus the healers to back them up with as well. Salty ends up falling over as his mech's destroyed, and now with Bermuda taking the fight, and they're saving on to at least one of their ultimates in the engagement. Ensuring
that Harblu couldn't get away with his energy was incredibly important, especially considering he's already 52% of the way towards his next Graviton. Still, Bermuda, their time bank is bleeding away, George. Chicken Contendies have not won a fight yet, but still, half the time bank of Bermuda is gone. A lot of ultimates invested, though. Not going to be able to get those back. Shu may be able to put the nail in the coffin with his self-destruct.
That tire just took a trip over across all of America. It's like flung across the map. But Gig end up going down. I can guarantee the camera wasn't on that tire, but I was fixated on it. Pizza Demon is going to take him out. So rob him now. He can't even build up for another Earth Shatter in the next fight. Wow, Salty was sent into the stratosphere as he was ejected from that mech. Trying to stall out for a little bit longer, tried to hide, but Guru's a little bit smarter than that. It's Bermuda capping the point. 3 minutes and 40 seconds now available for push them on to second.
You can definitely see why they've decided to play on Route 66. Seems like Bermuda definitely has a good idea of how they want to handle all of their 3-3 rotations on this map. And that geometry is serving them very well thus far with the exclusive exemption that is Pizza Demon with his Transcendence, trying to figure out how to get vertical mobility out of that one. Not the greatest, but he's got a second chance now, Jules. May well use it to answer here.
There's the grab. Where's the self-destruct? Salty's only 20% away. There's no real damage to follow up. Gig being extremely aggressive, and in fact, that's going to have to be a beat forced out to keep him alive. Nice charge onto Salty. Does remove his neck and remove him as well. Damn, Gig went so aggressive. He actually forced out the sound barrier, and we talked about that before. If you use the sound barrier first, the enemy Lucio, if he holds onto his for a couple of seconds, they're going to have the overshield advantage, Harry.
Gig didn't just force out the sound barrier, Gig forced out so much. 5 ultimates used there by Bermuda. They just seem to have trouble having a measured response to the investment that Chicken Contendies did use there, and now Chicken Contendies have 4 of their own to try and retake this, but they desperately need to give themselves some sort of stability. There's basically 3 or 4 fights now that they've lost in a row. They need to invest, they need to make that stability happen.
Self-destructs are traded like some Pokemon cards, but nothing is actually acquired. That will be Guru almost with another Graviton Surge. He's 55% away. He builds them up so fast. He's going to need to come up with something now because Ultimate Whip has fallen. With Zolik picking up that kill, that does mean Chicken Contendies are going to be able to push forward onto this Mega Health Pack room, and Hypnot going down to Harblu. In fact, Harblu earning himself a Graviton Surge in that fight is going to be able to hold firm for the time being. 2 minutes remain, but Bermuda have got a couple of tank ults coming online for themselves as well.
Good win conditions here from Harblu, having the Graviton Surge. Pizza Demon can always answer it, of course, with that Transcendence, and Guru's going to be matching it. But an early Graviton Surge here may really mess with the momentum of Bermuda.
Wow. Alright, that's a grab on a spawn. That shatter from Hypnot didn't really find anything, all of anything. Supposed to use that Transcendence a little bit later on as well, so they get the healing advantage, but that grab from downtown is going to connect with 3 people. Hypnot swinging away. He's going to be able to find 2 of them. And Bermuda now pushing their way through the cliffs. They're going to be able to touch the payload. Well, they're going to have to touch the payload here because it is still moving back, Harry.
Look at how important Jolik considers it to get Harblu out with that energy, because he generates his Graviton so fast. But Chicken Contendies there, Gig and Jolik, they panicked with their ultimates. They put a Earth Shatter straight into Hypnot Shield. They used a sound barrier when 2 people were already down. That is not the value that you need to get out of those fight-winning ultimates in their 3-3. They basically threw that fight away.
Both rallies been used. Love hearing the sound effects at the same time. Ever so slightly missynced. Self-destruct in the back line. Isn't going to be able to find all too much, although it does connect with 1 in Tanner. Gig was already forced out onto the payload, so the rest of his team couldn't even see him to give him heals. And now it's just the slow grind to kill the rest of the Chicken Contendies members before Bermuda capped the 2nd point.
Harblu ruled it out, but Shu knew exactly what the only method of retreat was there for Chicken Contendies supports. Tanner got caught out, didn't have anywhere to go except into that cave, and guess what you found in the cave? A nice shiny little self-destruct in Bermuda. Look how aggressive they're being. They're going to claim about half the space in the cave right now, or what would you call this? A cave? A tunnel? A cavern?
What? We're in a factory, Harry.
But look at the roof. It's rock. This is definitely a cave of some kind. Doesn't matter.
Guess it was at some point. There's no damage, it's okay, don't worry. There's the grab. Transcendence from Pizza Demon. 2 Transcendences, Harry. 300 HPS each. No one's going to die just yet. Both Graviton Surges thrown in. Nothing has been acquired. That'll be Zolik still trying to find a boot, but OG says not today, and boots him back to his own team.
Assassin Lucio's all over the sky of the warehouse right now, but Gig's having trouble moving around this payload. He is going to get a little bit of healing from it, but it's not going to be enough to sustain him much longer than Hypnot, who's also here with a Harmony Orb, getting the shield. There's the slam.
Nice slam actually onto Guru. Counter slam as well from Gig, didn't find anything. 2 beats have gone off, as well as 2 rallies. So even more support ultimates thrown into the mess that is this fight. Hypnot still trying to find the semblance of a pick. A Graviton Surge, another one is thrown in. This time mixed with a self-destruct. Now the kills can come through. Shu with a triple kill. Pizza Demon's going to follow up with a couple more of his own, and that'll be finally Bermuda getting this payload moving. But what a fantastic tool from Chicken Contendies. They're going to get at least another 2 fights out of this.
Chicken Contendies were forced to use their repair pack on Jolik yet again. These Lucios get so aggressive, they demand so many resources, and that means the Reinhardts aren't available for that. Oh no, Ultimate Web caught out!
Oh, Ultimate Web, no! A slam hitting the ground as well, connects with 3 people. Hypnot now on a rampage, wants to get a little bit of revenge. Shu ends up getting demeched and killed off himself. You can see the rest of Bermuda trying to run away, but they get caught up in the grab. That'll be Hypnot going down to Gig and rejoin the fray as well. Another shatter too, because they know it's only a couple of seconds remaining. They're going to rotate back as OG was able to touch the cart to trigger overtime. Gig a little bit caught out, but does make it back to the rest of his team.
OG needs to come back. He's got the Discord on. They can't kill him yet, Jaws. Everyone's got
nice grab. There we go. They're still going to be able to touch. Hypnot gets a nice ground pound, but is it going to be able to build out towards those mines? I don't think so. He's still trying to swing around the cart, but doesn't quite have the room. A nice kill onto Guru as well, as they are still touching. Shu has to send something in soon. Launches a self-destruct, but unfortunately that cannot contest. And Chicken Contendies are going to be able to hold Bermuda just before third.
There was a very tiny little detail that had that fall apart there for Bermuda, and that was after Hypnot hit that massive shatter on 3 people at the Mega Health back. He was running forward to swing at people, and he actually put himself, I believe, inadvertently into the speed boost aura of OG, so he overshot where he was stepping, and he fell off the back of the truck. And that meant that Hypnot not only could not follow up his own shatter, but he was also isolated behind enemy lines, and then he could be quickly picked off. And if Hypnot had not been caught in that speed boost aura and fell off the back of a truck, then maybe Bermuda could have followed up on that shatter properly and won out on that fight, carried on the momentum, and finished out the map. Just tiny little things that make the difference in 3-3 make it so fascinating.
Bermuda now get the chance to defend. This is such a clear win con as well. You're not even going to go to extra rounds at this point because the third capture point was not completed. So we will either go to a third map or a fifth map, sorry, or we will end up seeing Chicken Contendies win this out if they do manage to push it almost all the way to third. Bermuda, yesterday, I've got to remind you, got reverse swept by Skyfoxes. They want to try and do the same thing here. Well, they're not quite reverse sweeping, of course. They did win the second map. But Chicken Contendies, they are just on an absolute tear. You said it on the second point. Harblu is building these grabs up like no tomorrow. It's just Shu that seems to be coming out and just being able to reclaim some of that ground and some of the fight with his self-destruct.
Shu is actually going to be claiming the high ground for now, but he's going to give that up rather quickly. OG needs to make sure he isn't caught out here already. The repair pack has been used, and Hypnot's in big trouble as Gig gets aggressive.
Oh, man. Gig a little bit too aggressive, though. I was looking at Harblu's health thing, and that's going to go down also quick. Not quite as quick as Gigs did, though. Salty gets stunned up as he gets demeched also. Oh, ow. Okay. Okay, Hypnot actually gets caught out completely on the side as he gets boot killed. And that will be Chicken Contendies. Now you can see how quickly they're coming out the gate because they know Bermuda has to retreat now.
Yeah, they won the fight, but they basically haven't gained a huge amount of time. 30 seconds was gained in that fight, but they have had to give up the spaces if they had lost that fight entirely. They do have a little bit of extra ultimate charge. That is their consolation prize. Ultimate Web almost has that rally. He got punished for his aggression before, however. They will be sure to keep an eye on him again as Hypnot gets incredibly aggressive.
Going aggro, man. He has to. He's got that shatter. The 90-degree shatter. Dude definitely didn't see that coming. Gig is going to get stunned, so he's a little bit more vulnerable. Receives the shield from the side to stay alive in the fight. A Graviton Surge on 3 people as well as that self-destruct landing onto the point. A nice little flick around from Tanner and Gig to make sure they survive. Not quite enough for Salty's mech to actually escape alive, though, as they are going to get cleaned up by the rest of Bermuda.
Trading here still going to work out. Potentially we'll get Harblu out alive with that charge. I talked about how important this is to Jolik. He's got to escort Harblu away, and even Salty's just bathing him in the defense matrix. No one's going to kill President Harblu on this particular disengagement. And Bermuda, they invested quite a bit in that last fight. They're going to have to make it work with an Earth Shatter in the following fight. Jolik's already trying to duel out here with Shu, trying to force out of that defense matrix so that Harblu can get a clean grab.
Clean grab is what they need. Shu just needs to eat it. A little bit harder than it might seem, though, some of the time. There's the Graviton Surge in the back line. Actually only hits Pizza Demon. Does use the Transcendence. The rest team dogpile on top of him to receive all of that healing. It's worth it, though, as Gig ends up going, again, extremely aggro and gets taken out. Same with Harblu. He doesn't escape with his energy this time around. Harry has to build that up in the next fight. Although over the half, the time bank has disappeared right in front of their very eyes. And now Bermuda are sitting on a grab and a shatter for the next one.
So Harblu traded his grab for a Transcendence to prove the value of that, to prove that it was an intelligent move. So Pose now needs to get maximum value out of his Transcendence. That is the bonus the Contendies have. They've lost a major offensive tool, but they have the advantage when it comes to a defensive one. So Pose can bring everyone forward, but remember, there's no vertical mobility for it.
That's a good grab. Yeah, Lucio was actually caught on the opposite side of the signs who received none of the Transcendence healing. A beautiful slam as well from Hypnot to actually send 3 to the floor. OG finds 2. Another couple go for the quick reset off the cliff, and now only 1 minute remains in Chicken Contendies' time bank. This is smelling like a map 5, Harry.
It is indeed. Who did we pray to this morning that we have been blessed with 2 map 5s potentially in one day? Ultimate Web ready with a rally. Pray to Papa Jeff.
Papa Jeff.
Ultimate Web can look at the aggression that can come through here. It's actually a bit of an early rally, but we can now move forward. Gig's got to be very careful with. Has got the Discord orb on him. Is going to be booped forward by OG. Can be caught out.
Gig, don't go too aggressive, my man. He's going to get booped back in once more, but OG finally gets punished for his aggression, but still Gig ends up going down. She was going to be able to find a couple of shots on him. His shield was lowered for a brief moment. They got 30 seconds remaining. They're going to have to wait for Gig to get back. He has got that shatter available, but it's going to have to be a big one.
Tanner's using the rally, trying to keep everyone healthy while the Reinhardt is not there. There is soon going to be the rejoining of a fight from Gig, who has an Earth Shard already, a significant premium over Hypnot. There is the Graviton Surge. Will they be able
That's
to
a good grab, Harry. Hypnot and Shu are going to get caught in, and his shield is extremely low as well. Harblue finds one, and this is their desperation, their last stand on the point. They do use the sound barrier to make sure they all stay alive, and Suppose now fragging out of his mind. 1, 2, 3 kills for the Zenyatta as they finally manage to crack Bermuda's defense. This could be an additional fight, though, for them if they get back to the point in time.
One fight to win it, Jaws, and they don't just need to win a fight, they only need to remove Chicken Contendies from a cart. They can do that with a self-destruct, they can do that with a Graviton Surge. They're likely going to combine them to try and make the kills happen. It is going to be Hypnot trying to make the engagement,
back,
but it's going to be interrupted.
He got pushed back, interrupted on his charge. I don't know about that trance, my dog. That's a yikes. That's a head scratcher from me. He can build it up quickly, though. There's the beat for the engagement. Bermuda just going ham. Zolik and Giga caught up. There's no way they're surviving that one. Luckily, they got shorter spawns this time, though.
Yeah, we are right next to the spawn of Chicken Contendies, where I would have liked to have seen Bermuda flex back a little bit to allow that door to shut behind the payload and force Chicken Contendies to come through some more restrictive chokeholds. But now, at least, they have the same position, but worked out from last time. So maybe this will work out. They are actually going to seed it in order to move back to the cart, because Chicken Contendies know they can try and force that one through.
They're going to be able to get the cart through the doors. Remember, the doors will close behind them as well, so that's exactly what Bermuda kind of want to do. Suppose will end up falling, and a Graviton Surge is going to get met with a self-destruct. Wow. Salty, my man, gets 3 kills. That's what we wanted to see, all because, as well, Hypno was actually trapped in the front line. He couldn't shield his team, Harry, netting Salty 3 kills.
They punish the aggression of Bermuda there, but Bermuda still have applied some punishment to the time bank as well. Harblue desperately trying to build up once again towards that Graviton Surge. Harblue's quick building of Grav seems to be the key to the 3-3 tactics of Chicken Contendies here. He's so aggressive, and he's always got Zolik here ready to escort him out should he come under some unsavory attention.
Oh, Harblue knocked off the high ground by OG. They go extremely aggressive on Hypnot and actually force out the Transcendence. 2 aggro for them to deal with. Gig going extremely low, lays down the shadow. It's perfect. 5 members hit the floor as Harblue marching on. OG's going to be the first casualty, though, of Bermuda, where they trade that with Gig. Ultimate Web's going to get rounded upon. The Transcendence from Suppose should net them the next point as well. Hypnot with the desperation shatter also does manage to scorch Tanner. However, he is all alone against 5 members now of Chicken Contendies. There was only 30 seconds remaining, Harry, but it was all too good for them. They've got 1 minute and 50 now to get 55 meters and end the series here.
You'll never see a 5-man shadow. I think Zolik could have used that Sandberry a little bit earlier, maybe saved Gig's life, but worked out in terms of making the more squishy members of Chicken Contendies into a temporary frontline while that shield dissipated. Bermuda are going to be in a position now where they can try and lock down these entrances. OG's gone incredibly aggressive again if he gets caught out.
Oh my goodness! Right into Salty's defense matrix again! Salty! Oh my goodness! Harblue sends out his Graviton Surge as well. Another fantastic self-destruct is going to end the life of Shu's mech. Hypnot is going to get pinned. Also, clean up for Chicken Contendies with a shatter advantage as well. Oh my goodness. Salty and Harblue, the true carries of Contendies right now. They've got 60 seconds remaining, Harry. 50 meters stand in their way.
Okay, let's take stock. Main advantage right now is Suppose. With that Transcendence, he can sustain his team through incoming damage, but he won't be able to deal with a burst damage that's delivered by Shu and his self-destruct. He can deal with Hypnot, though. Hypnot's going to have to go incredibly safe here. He needs so many resources to defend himself.
There's the beat. The shatter comes down from Gig. It hits absolutely nobody. It is absorbed into the shield. A Graviton Surge mixed with a self-destruct coming out from Bermuda. The shield has been removed. It finds one in Gig. Harblue is going to go down as well, as he did manage to mortar strike himself to death. 20 seconds remain from Chicken Contendies. They got 1 more push, Harry, but someone's going to need to touch.
2 support ultimates used, nothing gained. It's going to have to be quite the commute to make their way over to that car, but I think 12 seconds will be more than enough to bring everyone there. But look, Ultimate Web, he's in the corner. Does get spotted out by Tanner. Going to have to disengage. Here's Rally for Rally.
Two-man shatter for Hypnot. They do manage to touch the payload. Was supposed was doing it. Giga's going to go down as well. That rally's going off, and even Pizza Demon using the Transcendence. Shu finally eats a Graviton Surge, but it's all over anyway for Chicken Contendies. Overtime is going to deplete in the end, and they will take the series. I mean, they're coming back, they're staggering, but it's not going to work out. Not take the series, we're going to a map 5. In fact, as Bermuda are going to be able to hold on 3rd point.
Chicken Contendies, I feel like there was a miscommunication between the supports. Which of us is going to touch the cart and force overtime? Jolik went, but so did Suppose. And Jolik can dance around for a little bit with his wall rides, try and bounce between the cart and the pillar, but Suppose there, he couldn't do anything. It was just a Zenyatta charging a shot. What am I going to do? And maybe if Suppose had been a little bit safer there, it could have been a more sustained fight.
Nice play of the game from Hypnot. Although it was really Shu. He got the triple kill with the self-destruct, let's be fair with ourselves. 52 high energy kills from Guru as well. That's 52 eliminations on top. So every single elim he did get was a high charge Zaya. Not too much of a surprise. Nepal, obviously our tiebreaker map once more. Harry, well, not Harry. It's nothing to do with you. Thank you, Jeff, for the 5th map once more.
Well, I also wanted a 5th map, so I'll take partial credit, but Jeff gets me. And once again,
you didn't cause the 5th map. I mean,
our tiebreaker is pre-selected. It will be Nepal, just as we saw before. And here we saw interesting compositions come out. We saw Pika from Phase 2 playing the Mei on Village, which turned out to be incredibly effective. Nothing that the opponents could do could really break the Mei composition, even when they brought out some DPS, because they had to give up their ultimate economy so rapidly after 2 failed pushes, so they didn't have any tools to make that work. And then we saw interesting compositions on Sanctum as well, including the Krees, Orissas, and 3-3 dives with Winston.
Yeah, we saw that on... what did we see that on? Yeah, it was on Sanctum. I was thinking... My mind was still in Ilios for some reason, but we did see a little bit of dive on Ilios with the Winston as well. But, of course, this is Nepal. It did look like it was Village, the first map. Obviously, we're just getting back into game. We did have to force the server to West Coast this time around. So you obviously have to bear with us one moment while we get everybody back in the lobby. Doesn't look like everybody's ready, however. And we'll jump into the final match of Chicken Contendies versus Bermuda. Two map 5 series already today, Harry. Hopefully we've got a couple more coming up. Obviously, we still have 2 matches to go.
Our other casting pair will be handling those, and we'll be starting off on Shrine. This is where we often see the classic 3-3 versus 3-3. There is some room to mess around, I'll say that. Sometimes Sombras can be quite effective here, where you can try and control the area with an Ashe or a McCree, but I'd say that given the motifs that we've seen from these teams, it will likely be 3-3 versus 3-3. I know that's incredibly deep analysis, considering
oh, yes.
Very little else from these two. Alce now apparently has an A.
Yep. Hey, you're just creating new words as you go, Harry.
Yeah, man.
Well,
my lexicon is ever expanding.
Yeah, you love using that word lexicon as well. Yeah. I've never heard anybody use that, by the way, until I met you. So, congratulations on being my first.
So you have no proof that it's actually a word.
Yeah, I actually don't. I've never even Googled the word. I just took it at face value. I was like, okay, that's just Harry being Harry. It's whatever. I'm going to have to Google this after we finish now. I just want to make sure it's an actual word and you've just been bamboozling me for the last year.
Big bamboozles, dude. But both of our teams want to bring out the same bamboozles, but neither of them are really going to have any trick cards up this league. 3-3 versus 3-3 Bermuda. They want a taste of that reverse sweet juice that Skyfox is so expertly extracted from him yesterday.
Oh, yes, they do. Not surprised 3-3 versus 3-3. I was going to say as well, the point is just so well enclosed that it's kind of hard to run anything else because you have to assault the point in order to actually try and take it. Hypnot is going to go down first up. Abdu is going to be able to find a kill. Easy clean up now. 3-3 is pretty... it's pretty obvious what happens when one person falls. Unless there's a miracle play and there's some ults available, one person goes down. Yep, that team is going to be able to win the team fight and it would secure the point as well. This time around it was Chicken Contendies.
tends to fall apart. The question is, are Bermuda going to make a slick rotation to try and put themselves on point? Looks like they're going through high ground, but it has been scouted out. Harblu's going to throw in a load of mortars there. He's got a load of energy to work with, but so does Guru due to that spam. Gig's going to be the front line here. Wants to try and rotate around these pillars so that he can rest his shield when he needs to. Tanner's going to be the secondary front line and is aggressed upon.
Oh, nice particle barrier on Gig. That shatter, it did hit one, don't worry. It did hit Shu, but he instantly gets shielded up by Hypnot, who's earned himself a shatter as well. There will be a beat coming through earlier on. Actually, a lot of that damage is going to get completely diminished. However, Flame Strike hitting 3 people on its exit is going to make sure Gig and Tanner end up falling. Both Transcendences used in that fight as well means there's no transfer Chicken Contendies with the up-and-coming grab from Guru. Bermuda are just going to clean up the rest of them as they do end up dying, and that means their flip is going to happen.
I'm going to call tragedy on that one. 2 support ultimates laid there from Suppose and Jolik to try and save the shattered members, but still they died. Jolik used his sound barrier just before they got shattered, so it began dissipating and then Suppose a little bit late with a Transcendence despite it being ready. Evidently trepidatious about having to layer those.
Oh, 6-man grab, that's what I'm talking about. And all the old charge in the world for Bermuda to gain. Oh my goodness, what? Salty throws in the self-destruct. I take it all back. That's going to be a 4-man shatter coming through from Hypnot for 0 follow-up. Peter Demon and Shu try to get some damage out, but they're going to go down quick sharp. 52% was acquired from Chicken Contendies. Only 35 here from Bermuda as the point gets flicked.
You grab me? No, I grab you. Harblu's going to take them out. They can actually force Shu out here, potentially, if he's anywhere close.
Oh, Guru, no! Oh,
charge. There he goes.
You know they're going to play that far up. He even jumped on the mega health pack. Oh, Hypnot charges in as well. Donates his entire health bar to the ult charge. Yeah, you guys got to go to spawn.
Oh, that's actually tragic. Shu will bring himself off the edge because had to get that mech back, and of course had to make sure that he still had the self-destruct ready to go. It's been such an effective tool for them. But now, Chicken Contendies, they were so aggressive that now we're in last fight territory for Chicken Contendies. Bermuda need to win this next fight. They're going up once again against double support ultimates. Got to force out some ineffective layering again.
They do almost have combo as well. He gets stunned up, but receives a particle barrier again. That shatter hits Pizza Demon on the stairs. Harblu beelining for the Zen. That self-destruct is going to get plonked straight on the stairs as well. Hypnot is going to be able to block it as another self-destruct comes in from Bermuda this time. Shu finds 2 kills as the Transcendence does nothing to subvert all that damage. Salty's mech also goes down as Gig ends up biting the dust as well. Chicken Contendies can't really invest anything more as they did throw everything and the kitchen sink at Bermuda. They will end up losing the team fight and Bermuda find the flip, but it's only one fight they need to win in order to secure Sanctuary.
Less of an optimal ability to position the shield there from Gig means 2 of his teammates were evaporated, and Chicken Contendies basically put everything they had into that fight. Gig's going to be the only one with even proximity to an
Blue in trouble, Harry, but ultimate weapon a little bit more so. He just zoned himself out from the rest of his team. That shatter is going to send 3 people to the floor as that Graviton Surge brings everybody from Chicken Contendies in. No follow-up from Bermuda, forcing out the beat now from OG to actually survive on this point a little bit longer. It's not going to be enough though, I don't think. He ends up falling. That rally from the doors to surge them forward, but they got no Lucio. They've only got 1 healer in the bring as well. They're going to have to make something stick. Shu's mech's already going to fall down as that beat comes through as well. A Transcendence from Peter Demon to survive them for the time being, and actually a charge onto Gig. Transcendence now in a healing advantage from Suppose. A beautiful Graviton Surge, but again, very little follow-up. Another one coming out from Guru as well as a D-mech and a kill onto Tanner. Might just net Bermuda with the point cap.
OG's definitely the hero here. He stayed on my point for so long, Jaws, while everyone else was caught in the Graviton. He was dancing around the center and then pin onto Gig. He had the Discord orb on him. That means so much additional damage was done. 390 burst damage onto Gig. He was absolutely evaporated by that charge. And now Bermuda sit one fight away from having won this. Chicken Contendies really lost their plot there in the last bit.
How did they win that fight, Harry? Rally is instantly acquired and instantly used by Tanner. They have got the self-destruct coming up as well as Gig having that shatter. but Hypnot is going to have to be the first person that goes down. That self-destruct at the back of the point doesn't net anything, but Tanner is going to fall. The Shadow sends 3 members to the floor, and Salty with the triple kill. That's what you wanted to see if you're Chicken Contendies. 2 sound barriers are going to go off, but the Transcendence from Suppose make sure no one else is going to go down from the Tendies. Bermuda just distraught at that loss. Overtime is going to fall through, and Chicken Contendies are going to secure Sanctuary.
Oh my gosh, that feels like an entire Nepal in one map, Jules.
It does.
Well, I'm going to break down what happened there. There was an attempt to go for the solo kill onto Gig with the use of the self-destruct from Shu. And how that managed to be sort of handled was that he actually backed up using a speed boost to make sure that Ultimate Whip could not get an angle on him to ensure that the self-destruct was effective. He backed up very well, and that meant that Ultimate Whip, basically, he was only walking forward at regular speed because OG was elsewhere trying, I imagine, to peel for Pizza Demon. So Ultimate Whip couldn't get that done. No stun there, no kill onto the Reinhardt, and then Gig got the counter shadow. And already they had seen Salty put out that self-destruct. No one could defend themselves or move away from what was an otherwise quite defensible position for that self-destruct. It's just a tale of 2 self-destructs and what the tanks could do to enable them.
A little bit of a switcheroo from the teams, Chicken Contendies and Bermuda switching sides, it seems. She's using that Lucio speed boost to get on the point as well. Hypno is going to be able to touch first, and you can see Salty with the high ground. OG trying to push everybody off, however. Successful in his attempts as well.
Hypno doesn't have a shield anymore. He has got himself a repair pack. Will back away until that Discord Orb is taken elsewhere. And now Harblu's trying to claim all the space he can on the point. Here comes the re-engage.
Nice lead by Hypno, actually doing a lot of damage to Tanner. Had to receive the orb and goes down to Ultimate Whip. They do trade 1 apiece though, as Hypno ends up falling as well. I wonder if they want to continue this fight. Ultimate Whip is just hamming in the backline. There's nothing Harblu could do to stop that Brigitte just mince-meeting him almost. There will be 3 people falling now for Chicken Contendies. Suppose gets cleaned up as well. Zolik just donating the rest of his health ball to the ult charges of Bermuda. They end up capping the point first up. And Chicken Contendies now going to go for the re-engage.
And when we talk about making space, Hypno did exactly that. He applied burst damage with his sleep, made sure that Tanner had to cede so much space. And when Tanner cedes that much space on the Brigade, that means that Ultimate Whip can run free and get so much value. He's already got the rally and he's going to surge forward with it.
Speaking about value, that Transcendence on top of that grab. Self-destruct, though, is going to annihilate the rest of Chicken Contendies. Yeah, quick resets. They don't want to waste any more time. Sanctuary is a very harsh map if you do get behind. There's only a couple of choke points that you need to run through. Those choke points can be devastating if you've got a good Zarya against you.
It's absolutely brutal, not in the spirit of the Omnic monks at all. Going to be a quick disengage from Bermuda, going to give over a little bit of space in order to make sure that Chicken Contendies will want to go through these areas where Hypno can get massive value out of this. Cleave damage has already got himself that Discord Orb, however, doesn't want to spend the shield before he makes his dive.
Oh, dive in from Hypno. No, there you go. Still Discord Orb. Isn't going to get cleansed just yet, so he has to play a little bit more safe. Graviton Surge in the back line, as well as that self-destruct coming in. Is there going to be shields to block it? Not quite enough to actually save OG, but the rest end up surviving with the help of Guru shields. A beat gets laid down from Chicken Contendies, and they're still a man up. They are contesting the point, however, as Hypno is just caught unawares, has to back off to a miniature health pack, and now they got Bermuda staggering themselves onto the point. They know it's potentially lost, so just buying for every single percent and punishing Chicken Contendies for not being able to clear them out quick enough. Suppose felt pressured enough in order to use that Transcendent to finish off the fight. Almost gets booped into the well. They should be as good as over, as Chicken Contendies have the healing advantage. Tanner does end up getting booped down into the pit as more Bermuda people are coming back onto the point.
What is happening? It's a mess, Jaws. Pizza Demon has the Transcendence and Gigas returned with his shield down.
Hypno gets booped off. He only just got back onto the point, Harry, and he's already sent down the pit of destruction. Bermuda are at 99% now as a Graviton Surge comes out from them. Gig ends up falling down as Salty now trying to do as much damage he can to the front line. Self-destruct corrals everybody into the tight corridors as we see Bermuda back. Another self-destruct comes out and actually kills Guru. Salty with the 2k might just be able to finish this one off and finally recap. Chicken Contendies, after a long, hard-fought battle, managed to find the recap and stop the OT burning down from Bermuda, but they've only got one more fight in them before Bermuda take this map.
It was harder than it needed to be, but Jolik really made that one work. Getting the early boop onto Hypnot and ensuring that if he was going to survive, he had to jump in at that moment. Couldn't decide on his optimal dive, but now he has decided he wants to dive into a backline. Will be met early by the tank line of Chicken Contendies. Don't want to give away any space to him, but he does use the shield, so they have to do a little bit.
Few members fall low on the side of Chicken Contendies, and they answer that with a sound barrier. There becomes the Graviton Surge, as well as the Transcenders from Pizza Demon, nullifying all of that damage. Salty had no follow-up in the form of that self-destruct, and a bit of a switcheroo again as they do Rosie on around to the other side of the map. Ultima Wet once again going a little bit too aggressive. The Winston narrowly falling down to his death. Gig using that primal rage to get back onto the platform. Tanner not quite so lucky, as Hypnot just going absolutely ape on the point.
It's going to be a quick reset here, but that was so close to being messed up. There was a slight miscommunication between Harblue and Gig. Gig leapt away, went for a disengage, and Harblue went for grab, so there was no cleave into there. Allowed Bermuda to survive a lot longer than they had any right to, but I guess over the course of this, with Chicken Contendies winning the fight, did grant them more percentage on the point than you otherwise would have. But now, Bermuda are going to have a chance to use their own Graviton Surge to try and seal the fate. Salty's got to eat this if they want to bring it home here.
It's not going to happen. No, he's definitely not going to come through. Hypnot. Oh no, that was tragic. No healing can come through either because the shield was actually blocking off the entirety of it. Gig is going to find the kill on Hypnot, and they're going to just chase Bermuda right to their spawn. They got 85% on the board. That defensive Graviton Surge is thrown in. Self-destruct on top. Someone's going to need to touch though, Harry, because there's only 8% left. Shu finds a double kill, but would they be able to get there in time? Only 5% remains. OG finds one, and Ultima Wet finds another. Suppose it's on the point as Shu finally manages to get there to trigger the overtime clock, but now Bermuda are in a fantastic position. Chicken Contendies will force them all the way to their spawn. They were punished for it. They find the flip in the end. They're going to secure Sanctum and take us to a full 3-map set in control.
It was messy and it was arrogant, and they got punished hard for it. Bermuda baited them in, switched them out, and disintegrated them with their self-destruct. She always has such a good idea of where to place these, but he didn't really need to decide where to place that, because Chicken Containers were like, look, we'll come out here with no shield and we'll get grabbed. This is going to be easy clap for Shu. But now we move over onto what you'd determined to be a more classical Reinhardt map. For now, Hypnot is not determined to switch over, who for Reinhardt may yet do so, and Gig, of course, is going to be picking up that hero. We are going to be seeing, well, just for old time's sake draws. 3-3 versus 3-3. Question is, which team is going to clamber first for presence on the point, and which one wants to try and take an engagement from the high ground?
It's always the toss-up, honestly, because if you put the Zen up on the high ground, there's so much protection for him, and the deep has to burn for us to do so. Both teams, actually, though, they are going to take the low ground instead. No May shenanigans this time around, though, Harry, unfortunately.
No Maze this time. See who'll get caught out early. Hypnot does have a Discord on him, and Tanner, too far, my dude.
Tanner too far. That was her nickname in high school, that is for sure. Gig ends up falling to Hypnot's Flame Strike. They're not quite in this game, Harry. Although we're seeing a lot of Giganti combos, that is for sure. Bermuda end up capping the point first.
Need to clean a com right there. We're going on point. Tanner heard it a little bit late, or there was too much processing that was required in his brain to really catch up on that particular one. OG managed to find him on the way, give him a quick boop, and Hypnot swung through his shields. Absolutely turned into moisture.
15% and counting. This goes the same way as last time. Gig, oh man, round it. There's nothing you can do, mate. I'm sorry. That was just punishing. Salty is going to have to remake as well, although he's going to just reset himself even. Pizza Demon finds a couple of heads to click as well. Look at that ult bike also. Bermuda sitting on 3. That Graviton Surge coming up 10% away from that Shatter. Gig, because he got killed first as well, Harry, has only got 50% of his own.
If Hypnot can hit a Fire Strike before the grab comes out, I'd love to see him use the Shatter first, so we can use the grab to have that cyclical ult generation that we talked about before by swinging into it. Doesn't look like he is going to be able to do that, but he may well get it anyway. High ground is commanded here by Chicken Contendies. Will they be able to keep Suppose up here? He has given up the high ground before, and that's exactly what he's going to do this time.
Hypnot's only got a couple of percent away, Harry, so that your wish might as well come true. Transcendence very early from Suppose. The grab into the Shatter. There's no damage follow-up. They've been grabbed themselves as well. 2 grabs just separating the 2 teams into 2 spherical orbs. There's a Graviton Surge not available now to mix with that self-destruct. They both get thrown onto the point and find absolutely nothing. A beat comes through from Chicken Contendies as well as one from Bermuda. Not quite enough to save Hypnot as he goes down first. Tanner finds the kill. Harplu's going to be able to clean up as as well. Now Chicken Contendies can take control of the point. Not before, though. Bermuda can secure almost 80%.
That was so expensive for both teams. Neither of them wanted to let go, but Chicken Contendies knew they needed to take it because you are at such an advantage on this particular map. When you are defending, you can very much choose your engagements, especially if you play up on the high ground. That's exactly what Chicken Contendies are doing. You can see Tanner using his 3D peek. It's going to scout out where are Bermuda coming from. For now, he's reported it back. Doesn't look like they're going to go for a fake out rotation. They are going to stick it with the path that they've chosen. Here comes the engage.
Salty on the high ground. Ooh, that's
not a trade you want.
Definitely not. That grab being thrown in from Chicken Contendies as well with no Rhyme follow-up is all that they need. They don't need the Rhyme. They've got Tanner, mate. He got 3 kills. They still hold on to the point. High school champion, track and field, and shot put apparently. 77% ult charge for Gig. They need to lay this next shot down to make sure that Guru has nothing to follow up on this grab.
Exactly, Guru needs a value from this. That is the win condition for Bermuda. Can be eaten by Salty. It's been a bit of a meme, but it's happened quite a few times. Tanner's already down. He's been cut down to size. He's no longer the homecoming king, but we're expecting.
Oh, Gig, you got to be careful, buddy. There's the grab into the back line. The self-destruct on top. Defensive on this time around. Shield doesn't get destroyed. Hypno gets sent to the floor as Gig laid down the shadow. Another self-destruct in the back line, and Solak ends up falling. Shu finds one, and that should all thus be required for this push. Hypno has that Earth Shatter for the next fight, Harry, but it is now 1 fight territory for Chicken Contendies.
If this Earth Shatter hits, it's all over for the Tendies. They're going to KFC, they're getting tenderized, they're getting eaten up in a value meal. Bermuda, they need to make this work if they want to take home their win here. They need to make up for that loss against Skyfox if they want that spot in Contenders, and Tanner's already down.
Tanner's going to go down. Guru finds an initial pick-off. There's both Bs coming out from the teams as well. Gig is trying to swing away, but a Graviton Surge is going to lock him in place. He ends up going down to Hypno as well. They don't need a self-destruct turret. The Transcendence just inches too late. Zolik and Tanner now coming back onto the point to try and delay some more time, but Bermuda have the ults rolling on in. Self-destruct as a victory explosion, and Bermuda will take the series 3-2.
And in the midst of that, even in the last fight, Shu still had the gumption to be able to eat up and Graviton Surge from Harblu. Some great rotations of ultimates there, some good counter beats, but eventually Bermuda, they were just brawling out so much better. Guru, we don't talk about him a huge amount because Harblu's just got so much star power, but he's consistently been such a force for this team.
Incredible from both Diva players as well. Salty especially, just eating grab after grab after grab. It's so hard to actually get one around him without him just nomming it all up. Chicken Contendies end up going down in a hard-fought series. Bermuda currently looking incredibly strong. A little bit of a revenge, really. They didn't want to get just completely 3-0'd. Obviously, they were reverse swept yesterday from Skyfoxes, so definitely happy about this win. They'll be facing Phase 2 in week number 3 as well, and then on to Triumph as well. So they are in very good standings when it comes to taking one of these top spots and moving their way to Contenders.
With Jostle for seeding, it's always brutal, Jaws. Always brutal, and looks like Bermuda for now have their upper hand. Different Contendies, commiserations to them, but this won't be as bad. A map differential will only be like a -1 because of, I believe our map differentials do count with draws, not draws, tiebreak. So
Tiebreakers, yeah.
The Chicken Contendies, because of course map differential is our second standings determiner after Raw series wins.
Yeah, they've been doing a fantastic job, and you got to remember Chicken Contendies, before coming into yesterday's games, they were 2-1. They lost against Skyfoxes. That has been their only loss of week number 2 at the start. Then they beat Phase 2 yesterday, and then they've managed to get a nice-ish scoreline against Bermuda here. Only the -1, but will take their second loss. So they're still up in the top 5 at this current moment in time. Bermuda just continuing to push their way up as well. They've been doing just an incredible job of not only like setting up these set pieces, but both Zayas, again, incredible ult generation too. I think Harblu was the better Zaya in this current matchup, just for the ult generation, and it looked like Chicken Contendies really